All right, everyone, picking up where I left off yesterday, working on the teeth here. Remember I said that some parts were going to be engraved and some parts were not. We're going to have to leave spaces in between in order to make the lines appear. So we're working in reverse order. Basically, the lines that I did on the inside are just sort of an outside line. So it's sort of an x-ray x-ray vision, I guess you could kind of say. Everything is worked in reverse. So we're creating the black line in order for it to appear as if we've drawn it. But we're going to work the teeth one by one. They're going to get a little bit bigger so they kind of make the line here. And then we're going to work the white here so that it makes the black line appear from our drawing. See where it's supposed to be black right here? And then this is all white where the skull bone is supposed to be, right? So that's what we're going to do. Whoops. That's what we're going to do next. All right, here we go. Turning on the machine. Whoops. Wait, nope. Putting on my mask. First, gotta have that protective equipment. Don't like breathing in the dust. Sometimes I'll work with a water drip. Of course, I don't have that set up today. But, okay. Let's turn this on. And here we go. Try not to bump the camera here too much. Sorry about that. Some of these tiny ones, I might change my bit to just a little bit smaller, just to get in there a little bit closer. And I always do, whenever I'm working in a new pattern, I always do a practice run, because there's always something on a pattern that could cause a mistake, which this little dot that was in here that I was just working on, it's on the drawing, the original drawing from everything. I'm going to have to work that out, because it caused that to look a little awkward. So we're going to work on that a little bit. But that's okay. That's what things are for. That's why you do a practice piece. Sometimes even tattoo artists have that same problem with the drawing. Unless they have drawn it themselves originally, they don't know what line is supposed to go where sometimes. And that's the way it is. I'm not sure why those two are specific. together. But being that that was set the way it was, I'm going to make this 2 pieces deeper, and then I can correct that by buffing it down with the rubber buffer. There, you can almost see it if I do that. See? There. There. Alright, we're going to leave those the way they are. I'm going to change my bit. I think I'm going to put I'm going to use a medium sized. Just slightly bigger than the one that I had. Well, it's actually quite a bit bigger than the one I had, to be honest. By comparison. All right, let's continue on. Not wasting any time today. All right, let's work on that facial feature I told you we were going to do. And yes, it's a little louder because this bit is a little stronger. It'll take out more of the glass at a time. So let's review our lines here. We've got one that goes all the way up that apparently is missing here. So we're going to do just this piece under the nose right here, just so we can watch what we're doing and not mess up. A little bit at a time. Remember what I said about these guys? That we're going to leave around those to keep pardon me, I'm stuttering a lot today. We're going to go right up to this because that's the black part. This isn't. And so is that. But right here, I need to decide if I'm going to go on the underside or the top side of that line to keep it black. Now, is it closer to the nose or farther away? It's closer to the nose part, so I'm going to keep the top side of it clear. So I'm going to go right up to the bottom of it, and then I'm going to leave a space above it open. See? There we go. Now I'm going to, before I forget that there's a crack here on the pattern, we're going to make sure that we leave that. Of course, I wouldn't forget, but that's okay. And I think Jixer thinks she needs to help. Sweetheart, you need to stay over there, baby. Go on. She's being stubborn today. So you might see my cat's ear. Oops, you're going to see more than that. Hold on a second, people. Alright, I think I got Jixer settled down. You can start over again. Anyway, here we go. Okay, we're going to come back over here. I'm going to hit the top of that line. And go up there. There's that. And then we're going to come over here. Now I'm looking back up here at this picture. You see I put it there so I could reference it easily. And then come up here. Alright. And we gotta, looks like he would have been scrunching up his upper lip right here, I would think, by the looks of it. That would be my guess. At any rate, so working our way up around here. I'm going to leave some of this open until I can get to looking at it really closely here. Just for a minute. And a lot of this will be, we'll come back with one of my eraser bits and blend it through and shade it out some too. Because in the original drawing, this actually fades into black. It's not a hard, solid line right here. I don't want it to be a solid, straight, like a hard drawing line. I want it to blend out. So that's why I'm whisking it off here, instead of just drawing it out. See, like it is right here. And if you can catch that, it's a hard line, whereas this kind of whisks up of it. Okay. And come back over here to this one by the nose. And here. Yeah, it's coming together, isn't it? Looking more like a skull. Now, with this being a wider bit, the demarcation lines that it's leaving in the glass won't be as deep. I mean, I could make them deeper, but they would also be a lot wider, which I might use up in here, or probably in the axes more, but also as a shorter divot. Those would be perfect more for like an hammered look. So I'm going to continue on and finish up this skull a little bit, and then I shall be back. All right, so I worked out the skull a little bit more, and I put a few extra dentations in the skull, which we'll balance those out a little bit later, and I'll show you what I did. But for right now, I want to work on these axe heads, and I'm going to leave my larger bit on, and I'm going to show you what I meant when I was talking to you a little while ago about the hammered look with these. But let's get on these guys and I'll show you what I'm up to. Oops, sorry. Earthquake, sorry. Alright, here we go. I'm going to go lightly at first just to get the look so that it looks like metal. So it's all going to be completely engraved. I'll leave a little bit of a clear line where these lines are just to give a little depth. Whoops, stay there. And I'm leaving a little space right in here because that's part of the bandana. And I need that to be separated, sort of. So I'm going to leave a little space around that. Anyway. And I'm going to go a little deep right here. You kind of have to think as if it were actually wrapped around right here, and you know, everything like if it was actually mounted in like a hammer, kind of. And we're gonna hammer it out. So it's gonna kind of the way it's gonna look. And then part of it is going to be if you think about how it would have been sharpened. So when I come back in to actually smooth some of this off, oops, you'll be able to see it. I'm going to do the same up here on this side. Alright. So there's that. I'll do the same on the other side here to this one. That way you know what I'm going to be doing to that. And I'll do the bandana kind of the same way, only I'll do it in striations to make the lines going across. And then with the leather wraps, we're going to do that next so that you can see how that was done. So let's do the wood piece right here. And now we're just going to go with this semi-straight line all the way up because it's not a total straight line for the most part. So we're just going to follow it on up. Not quite touching the skull. Oops. And then we're going to come in with these lines, which are leather. It's a wrap. And when you think of a leather, how it's wrapped around something, it crosses over and then comes straight down. It crosses over, comes straight down. So it's not under that line, it's over that line. So it makes a little bit of a hump on the edges. And this is where I have to really pay attention and not go too far over that line, but a little bit over it to give that image as though it were actually wrapped. It's got to have a little bit of a hump right there. Now this is just a start off. I'll go over it with a different bit. Yeah, too close right there. Because it's going to have more than one wrap around. You know, it's not that far apart. It's got wrinkles, and it's, you know, when you actually, I don't know if anybody you have seen a if you've actually wrapped a leather band around something, or if you've taken leather lacing and have done a tight wrap, like around a dowel rod, to know what it looks like. But I've done a lot of leather work also, so I kind of know what that looks like. So I'm trying to imitate that. It's not as easy as it looks. Even when you're doing leather work, trying to get an even looking wrap around something, or a braided edge when you're doing a book edge or something like that, it's kind of tough to make the lacing look very nice. And again, I apologize for my stuttering today. It's been pretty rough. I thought I'd be okay doing a video and it would not be too bad, but oh well, what can I say? It's part of who I am, or have become. Anyway, all right, so there's that. I'm going to change the bit. Whoops. See, you got to be careful. Even just touching these bits with the diamonds on there will make a mark. Anywho, whoops, got a tickle on my nose. So I hope everybody's doing well today and having a good afternoon, morning, evening, whenever you're watching this. All right, I have put in a much larger bit here, and I'm going to go over these lines again. And not quite as deep, but just to give a line that will put a little bit more shading and a little more depth to these edges. So I'm going to be a little more careful about where I'm putting it. And where I'm stopping it. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. You're not even in focus. Dadgummit. Ah, I hope the whole thing wasn't like that. Dang it. Oh man. Well, y'all, I hope the whole thing wasn't out of view for that. But I'm glad I caught myself at least a little bit. So here's a repeat of what I just got through doing. I'm going to go over these lines again the same way I just got through doing them. Boy, I need to pay more attention. So I'm going to use the same bit, go over these lines the same way I did them before. And I'm going to go over just like this. And I'm going to stop on these edges here to make a little bump on that line. And carefully, it's making a little bit deeper impression. And a little bit wider impression than the last one. So in essence, I am creating a groove on each one. And you can see I'm not hitting every one of them. And I'm going sometimes in between one or two of them. And that's because I'm going to go over this with a, well, I call them an eraser, basically. Because it will shade some of these out. So it'll look like it's an underneath one. And then some will look like it's on top of one. Another one will be on underneath and on top of, like overlapping. And I'm hoping it'll give the right impression. So I think that looks pretty good. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get my eraser put on so I can show you what I'm talking about. Where are you? There you are. All right, this is one of the forms of eraser that I use. It's a little bit bigger. I have one that's a disc eraser, but I don't have it set up right now. It's on a larger shank, and this little guy doesn't take that large shank. I'd have to use my big Fordham machine, and it's a lot louder. You guys would be deafened by it at the moment. It would not be conducive for this video anyway. But this one will work, and I'm going to show you exactly what I can do with it. Now I'm also going to slow my speed down because this does not need to be used as fast. So we're going to slow it way down, and then I'm going to turn up the speed just a little bit as I need it. So let me show you how to do that. See, it's barely running. Turn it up just a little bit. And now, can you hear that? See, that's a little bit fast. So I'm going to turn it back down. There we go. That's all we need there. So I'm going to go back up here to the hammer. And just kind of touch it a few places. Now I don't really want to touch this to the plain glass very much because it will leave a mark on just the plain glass as well. Okay, how are we looking there? See how that comes up? Even in that. See there? What do you think? Alright. Now this one, I'm just going to kind of skip it along here. Try to keep the glare down. I'm just going to go like this. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. What do you think of that? So there's that. The other one will probably look quite the same. I think I might have come up just a little bit high on that one. I can probably work it out, but this will be a little bit wider right in here. That's all. Put a couple extra ones real close next to it. It won't be so awkward looking. But there's that. Here, I even work out a couple of pieces I worked on the Remember I told you I'd made some demarcations in the skull? Now I will do these, but then I'll also go back in and where the skull is supposed to be real bright, I'll still go back in and kind of highlight those a little bit, you know, make them white, real white again. But and then we got this whole side right here that's supposed to be shaded out, kind of fade out right here. That's how we fade out. There you go. And of course, I will pause the video and finish up. The bandana will pretty much be about the same, but we'll get this guy finished up. It won't take too much longer. And get her done. And we'll show you what she looks like when we're all finished here. Okie doke. But there you go. And I will show you about what she looks like compared to the original, the original drawing. Not that drawing, but the original photograph. And then we'll see how you like it. All right? Anyhow, see you in a bit. All right, everybody. I have pretty much finished off most of the engraving part. You know, I've got a little bit of detailing to complete, but generally speaking, we're going to call that a finished product. So, what we have here is the main basic pattern right there, the skull, and then here is this one. So, y'all tell me what you think. Pretty close. It is not supposed to be absolutely exact, you know, copyright material and all that. But, you know, I think I do pretty good. I'm not a pro by any means, but I am me, and I'm called myself Miracle Maid. And there we are. And I apologize for the mishap over here when I got off camera. I will pay more attention to that near future. But anyway, so I'll just do some detailing part on that and then it'll be finished. But you know what it's going to look like. Anyhow, y'all have a great day. And remember, it's Miracle Maid. And have a fabulous afternoon, evening, morning, whatever. Anyway, have a good one. Love y'all. Bye.